Newt, welcome back.
Good to be with you.
Earlier we had Donald Trump on. He was responding to what Hillary Clinton had to say about him, and I guess she didn't like the fact that he had his Muslim ban out there and kind of looks at him as the cause of the issues. Let's look.
When he says bar all Muslims from coming to the United States, that sends a signal to majority Muslim nations, many of whom we have to work with in order to defeat terrorism. It sends a message of disrespect, and it sends a message that makes the situation inside those countries more difficult.
Is that the dumbest thing you've ever heard? I mean, to me, it's one of the dumber statements I've ever heard. I mean, she is so ill-equipped to be the president. In fact, if anything, it's just the opposite, because they're going to have to learn that we can't take this anymore, and they're going to have to turn in the people that are bombing the planes, and they know who the people are. And we're not going to find the people by just continuing to be so nice and so soft. And I have many Muslim friends, and they agree. They have a tremendous problem with the radical Islamic terrorism.
So, Newt, Hillary says that his proposal to temporarily ban Muslims promotes terrorism. He says that's dumb. What do you think?
I think she's crazy.
Okay.
I think, look, this is the woman who said that the attack on Benghazi was caused by a film, even after she'd been told flatly that was not true. She is an apologist for people who are committed to replacing Western civilization. Her policies are a failure. It's 15 years since 9/11. It's 37 years since religious fanatics took over the Iranian government and illegally seized the American embassy. Folks on the left cannot come to grips with reality. The Obama administration can't. They've adopted rules which make it easier to fund terrorism. They've adopted rules which make it easier for people who are potentially committed to ending our civilization.
Yeah, but Newt, that's her record too. That's her record too.
Exactly. That's my point. So you have this former Secretary of State. I'll give you an example. The guy who built the car bomb that did not go off in Times Square and fizzled in the cop it was pointed out, by the way, by somebody running a hot dog stand, that car was smoking. And the police went over, found it was a car bomb. This guy gets sentenced by the judge. The judge says to him, "How could you have done this? You're now an American citizen. You swore an oath of allegiance to the United States." And this guy looks at the judge like he's insane and says, "Judge, you're my enemy. I lied."
Yeah.
Now, Hillary Clinton doesn't get it. I mean, she is completely disqualified from dealing in a world that's dangerous because she cannot allow herself to believe these are our enemies we're talking about, not all Muslims.
It's not about experience, it's about judgment.
Want to replace us. She has no judgment.
Speaker, she also talked about the economy. That's the #1 issue in our Fox polls, our recent polls. The economy is the #1 issue. People are going to the polls. They want something to change. They don't want businesses to leave our country. She says, this is what she said about bringing her husband back into the mix.
My husband, who I'm going to put in charge of revitalizing the economy, because, you know, he knows how to do it, and especially in places like coal country and inner cities and other parts of our country that have really been left out.
So Bill Clinton to the rescue. Weren't you involved in helping back in the day make things work out the way they did?
Well, we closed the government twice, once for a very long period, in order to get his attention. And then out of that, we both got welfare reform, and we got the only 4 balanced budgets of your lifetime, with John Kasich as the chair of the Budget Committee. All of that was imposed on Clinton. But there's a deeper point here. You can't go around and say the biggest issue we're faced with is the economy. So as president, I'm going to hand it off to my spouse.
Right.
I mean, what? So what's she going to do? She's going to go to, she's going to go to funerals, and he's going to be the real president. I mean, this is just another example of the confusion in Hillary Clinton's mind about the nature of reality. If she becomes president, which I don't think she will, but if she does become president, it's her job, not his job.
Right.
We're not hiring him to be co-president.
There you go. All right, although she would have that. Now, I understand you have another exciting film coming out. It's on George Washington. I saw the still of you sitting next to the actual size. The statue of George Washington, which is his actual size, is called The First American. What can you tell us about it?
Well, Clifton and I are very excited. We're going to premiere it tonight at Mount Vernon. It is really designed to say, look, you want to talk about revolutionaries, you want to talk about Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. Well, here's the original revolutionary. Let's see how he did it. How did he help create America? Well, how did he dedicate his life to freedom? And I think George Washington is somebody that every young person should learn about and be involved in. This actually started on your show a couple of years ago when Callista was here, was with you, and she was talking about one of her Alice the Elephant books for young children. And you had a section from Waters where he's interviewing people and trying to find out what they know. And he says to this one young lady, "Who is George Washington?" And she stares at him blankly and she goes, "Oh, he was president. Wasn't he right after Lincoln?" And that is literally the impetus.
Jesse Waters has inspired a movie?
Jesse Waters inspired the first American.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's so important that you're doing this, and I find that if you do it well, people understand. People want to know it, they're just not taught it.
Of course, you've done a great job of introducing people to American history.
All right.
Thank you so much.
And good luck tonight. It's going to be a great event. Newt Gingrich, thanks.